I always was so afraid, right? Because I was afraid of the judgment, the fear of being in public, the fear of posting online, and you know, when those roadblocks hit, things happen, and being honest and saying, "Yo, this happened. Like, this month wasn't the best month," and being able to openly share that. And then I started to realize that doing that actually does make me a better person because it forces me, it holds myself to be more accountable. Because when it was just me making those mistakes, if I'm being completely honest, if I would have documented my entire trading journey from the beginning, I would not have blown in the beginning stages 30 plus accounts because I would have held myself a lot more accountable, knowing that there are other people watching me. So I have to force myself and I have to actually, because I'm not going to post something and say something and not be doing that. And that's what it forced me to level up, and that's what this is going to do for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the entire roadmap that I'm going to follow, that's going to get me to my first $1 million, and that's going to grow my community, the community that I want to build, in over 1,000 plus people. Now, I want to first break down why I have these goals set to where it's at, and then I'm going to break to where I'm currently at right now on this journey. The reason why I have these goals at where it's at, my first original goal was six figures. And in my mindset, it's always 10x it. Because when I 10x the goal, it forces me to 10x the output, which is why I'm doing all of this now. And I went to like 3 different stores yesterday just to get a whiteboard this big so I can actually have this visualization thing for me. Another update. Store number 2 did not have it. The investment is secured, as you can see right there. The total investments was like $31, something along those lines. My first original thing was 6 figures, and I said 10x that, $1 million. Cool. The first original goal was being able to have a community of 100 people. 10x that, 1,000 people. So that's why those are those goals, because it forces me to do 10 times the output. What really showed me that being honest and being transparent and being open, that's the path. It's because I started being a lot more open, a lot more transparent with people, with my community, with my platforms, and just sharing my real journey. And in doing so, literally within this month alone, I'll pop up the screenshot of whatever that number is. I've been able to generate more profit than I've had in like the last 4 or 5 months in just 1 month alone, and this month isn't over yet. And also I've made more of an impact on more people's lives in such a shorter period of time at one time. Both of these are going to work together. I stopped looking at my trading and my brand as 2 separate things, and it's one. That's who I am. Trading is a part of what I do. My brand is me building this out, everything like the content and all this is just what I do. This is a part of it. It's not one, it's not either or, it's the both at the same thing. This is the cycle that I'm going to follow. So right now where I'm currently at is I currently have a 50K funded account. I just got into futures recently because it's so beautiful, right? One of my one-on-ones that I originally had before, which was Danny, she put me onto futures because I remember her blowing accounts and everything, and she got into futures and literally changed her entire life. And she said,
That's my opinion so far, but I don't regret for a second switching to futures.
what that's going to look like for this is I'm going to take the 50K accounts. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest that into more 50K accounts plus 50K. And I'm going to constantly keep doing that. That's the cycle that I'm going to constantly keep doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a trade copier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on stacking 50K accounts. 50K, 50K, 50K. Keep on stacking 50K accounts. If I get to a total of 20 50K accounts, if the platform allows me to do 20, then I definitely would do 20. But if I get to the point where I can do 20 plus accounts, that is $1 million in funding. So what I want to do is get to the point where I get $1 million in funding. So that means this needs to equals 20 accounts, and making 10% on that is $100,000, right? All literally just off of trading alone, building up to this point of the 20K accounts, all I would need to do is make 10% 10 times to make that $1 million, and that's just from trading alone, right? So that is the plan that I'm going to do. This is the exact plan that I'm going to follow. Continue to keep using the funded accounts and investing back into it. And what I'm also going to do as well as I'm going to use my own. The more profits that I make from this, I'm also going to invest these profits into my live account. And I'm going to document what this is going to look like live in real time of how I perceive profits and how I'm going to use this to look at my profits that I currently have now in a way that's going to make me already see this on the charts. I'll share that more in during that journey. Right now I'm just breaking down the whole thing. This is where the brand side of things come into play. How I'm going to do this is YouTube, Insta, and TikTok. These are going to be the 3 social platforms that I use, and then my other things that I'm going to have is my actual community, which is going to be at $97 a month. Then I'm going to have the one-on-one, so one-on-one that I currently have, which is right now I have it at 500 for the 10 people that signed up for 10 people. And once it hits that 10, then it goes to, once it hits that 10, then it's going to go to $1,000 a month per person after the 10 people. And then it's going to eventually, how this is going to scale is going to naturally, as the demand grows, as it continues to increase, this 500 is no longer going to be the initial number. Now it's going to be $1,000, the initial price for the first 10 people. And then once those 10 people are hit, anybody after that is going to scale up to 3,000, right? 3,000. And then it's going to get to the point where this becomes the normal. This 3,000 is the normal for the first 10 people. And then boom, after that, that's going to naturally scale this up for that aspect of things. Now, what is going to happen is the people that join the community, potential people that may come to the one-on-one, people from YouTube, Instagram could immediately start coming to the one-on-one. TikTok could immediately start coming to the one-on-one, or they may start and come here, right? Here and here. Just because people come across me as a brand, not everybody needs to be in the community. Not everybody needs to be in a one-on-one. That's okay. Not every single person that comes into my life is somebody that I can sell to. Some people that just come into my life, they just needed that spark. They just needed that push, and that's all they needed, because you're doing your own thing, right? You're doing all of this for yourself. You want to put your all and focus on your business and X, Y, and Z. Not be a part of another community. You want to start your own community. So this right here, all of this, these may not come into factor for anybody, and that's okay. People that I get to follow along and people that I see their journey outside of it, like, and what all of this could potentially lead to as time goes on. Because if I have 1,000+ people, I'm 1,000% doing this. But all of this could lead to in-person events. Not only does it lead to in-person events, but it also equals in-person events, these two things, in-person events and podcasts. So all of this, building this, is going to lead to this podcast where I can actually, instead of just getting, let's say, known creators and stuff that I don't have a relationship or know, I can get people from the community, bring these people on, and we have these conversations and they talk about their life, because not everybody has this crazy, huge, ultra mega transformation. Some people, they literally was just a single mom who wanted to start her own content or her own brand about literally helping single moms and the things that she learned and how to help single moms overcome certain things, right? That's literally all she wanted to do. Get her on the podcast, because guess what? What does that do? It not only, it brings traction towards her, because what I do, there's no specific niche. The people that I'm reaching, the people that I'm speaking to, there's not a specific niche. You don't need to be a trader or a business person. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a firefighter. You could be a college dropout like me. You could be a high school dropout. You could be a single mom, a single dad, a server, a construction worker, a janitor. It don't matter what you are. But there could be a lot of the single moms and stuff that learned from me. But seeing one of those single moms that come onto it, it's, yo, I can relate to her. So now those people that were watching me, they go to her. Now they invest in her, because A single mom can relate to a single mom more than a single mom can relate to me. I can never ever get to the point where I can relate to a single mom because I'm not a female. So I can never relate to you on that level. But let's say somebody I have on a podcast, they can. So now that sends somebody, now I can send somebody that's from my community, I can send it to hers. So I can also continue to help her grow, help their business grow, whatever the case may be. And that goes for anybody, right? That's what I want a lot the podcast to be a lot more sharing those like real people. It doesn't have to be somebody that's already at that level. It could be somebody who's building it out and what they're currently going through, because that's going to make the biggest impact. So this is the format right here when it comes to the content, right? When it comes to that side of things and how I'm going to actually create content around this. Like, how am I going to get people to come to the community, the one-on-one? How am I going to eventually get to this point? What am I going to do? It's doing stuff like this, right? Sharing the journey, being open, being honest, sharing where I'm currently at, sharing what I'm getting to, sharing the methods that I'm taking that's going to get me to those levels, the methods that I took that got me to this level. Being open, being honest, being transparent, not following the algorithms, not following the world, and actually building trust with people that literally wake up and it's like post notifications on. Like I feel like I'm going through this with him. I don't feel like he's so far ahead of me. I feel like it's, yo, we're going through this together. And this is somebody that I can actually talk to, you know, that I can be open about. And he's not afraid to be vulnerable and share the ups and downs. And I know that I can talk to him. And I know that if he has a platform for that, I know I can go into that platform where, wait a minute, there might be another single mom that's going through what I'm going through, and we could connect together. She may be in my own state or city, and now we get together. I'm going through something at night. You know, I had that toxic ex, right? Let's say, for example, that person has that toxic ex, and they feel like going back to that person. Well, guess what? There's already somebody who's going through that same thing that you are, or just got over that. Sister or brother, I'm going through the same exact thing right now. Like, instead of us feeding back into that negativity, instead of going back to that, yo, let's get on the phone, let's chop it up, right? Like, let's talk through this together. Let's really talk about what we're going through, because like, you feel what I'm feeling. And now y'all build now, and this what turns is that inside of the community, it's a community built inside of that. Now this branches off to people building their own things together. They starting their own type of a group, getting to know each other in X, Y, and Z. That's how I use my brand to help others. This is what I'm going to do. This is the format of it. And how I'm going to do it is YouTube. These type of videos, longer form content, is going to be the main structure of things. YouTube is going to be the main structure. And what I'm going to do is this is going to be the main thing. The number one thing is longer form content. YouTube is going to be number one. This is going to be the longer form content, because in this way I can actually document it and share it in real time instead of just doing 1 minute, 2 minute and try to sum it up, because this is a actual journey that I want people to be a part of. So YouTube is the main platform, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pieces of content from the YouTube, and then I'm going to break those down and share those concepts on Instagram, share those on TikTok, while also, if there's certain things that I'm going through at the point in time, sharing those behind the scenes that won't really go on YouTube, that doesn't really need to go on YouTube. Like, let's say I share on my stories or just share certain posts where I'm building out something in that moment. I'm sharing something in that moment where it's not meant for a like full day in the life or something like that on YouTube. Then I can also post that on there, on those platforms as well. And this is the structure that I am going to follow, because once again, continuing to keep doing this, the profits of this is going to increase as time goes on. This is going to be the main profit thing, because I can control this. I can control this. I can't control how long this is going to take. And I love that, because not trying to force money, not trying to sell and X, Y, and Z, what that does is make me actually enjoy this and actually love this. Actually love the process of however long it takes. It could take 6 months. It could take a month. It could take 30 days. It could take 10 days. It could happen tomorrow, right? It doesn't matter. However long this takes for this to build up to that point, I'm okay with that. And I'm going to actually love enjoying. That's why I'm so not afraid of sharing this, This right here is the main thing. This right here, this is all on me. This, it doesn't, it could, I could have nobody come to the business, but this still continues to keep generating, right? All of this, the main thing is this, and these two correlate together. Both of these work together. This works with this works with this. This is the exact roadmap that I'm going to follow, and I'm going to document this and share with you guys along the way. Be completely open and transparent about how I'm getting here, updates through it, and whenever it does hit that goal, this is something I want to be able to just come back on and just witness when, you know, you had the whiteboard up right here and you just spoke it out and you was able to actually achieve it.